So the reason why we've been talking about this trip so much is because on this trip to Canada, Austin got engaged.
Mm-hmm.
It's, ow. One second.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You should have just
Feel
did
humble,
that.
and then you start
You
doing
should-
that shit.
Yeah. So I forgot to do this before the show, but I was gonna download the 5 booms sound.
That is hilarious.
Be like,
Like, so you get a rendition.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, man, your engagement gets 5 booms.
You're also
So,
gonna
congrats,
get that at your funeral, so get ready for that.
I need
Yeah.
that. The 5 booms.
and the wedding. Let's do the wedding. Let's do it at the
That
wedding
is-
first, and then the funeral.
That should 100% happen.
B would kick us the fuck out so fast.
But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what we've been dancing around for the beginning half of this episode, talking about Austin's trip. So yeah, I mean, we've kind of known about it for a while. Obviously, it's been in the works for a while, and so the day of Austin leaving for Canada, I decided to be a good friend and check in. You know, what I will say is, I like to, you guys know in like video games, like sports video games, when like players get like awareness stats,
Mm-hmm.
like the quarterback will have like 90 awareness usually, and that like makes him a good quarterback.
Yep.
I'd like to say my awareness is probably like a 90, 95, right?
For sure.
I
You
knew-
have great emotional intelligence.
Yeah. I knew that the plan was you land in Montreal and then drive for 2 hours. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, for those 2 hours that Austin is driving, anyone could be looking at his phone. Literally anyone. So
Anybody.
in my mind, I'm like, let me send a very nondescript text. Just, I said, hey man, hope you got to Canada all right. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to cut the episode in half where we talk about you dying in an air crash, because it'd be in poor taste. If we didn't hear from him, I think it would be in poor taste, right?
Or
in memory
very
of.
good public service announcement,
Yeah. So, again, I had that in mind. I was like, B could be looking at his phone while he's driving. Let me not send anything stupid. Mike sends, tell me when it's official, and then 3 ring emojis. Now, granted, the ring emojis were hidden by invisible ink, but you could clearly see if you looked at the emojis, like if you looked at the screen, that they were 3 diamond rings covered up by invisible ink.
Yep.
And so immediately I was like, hey man, you need to unsend this. And I was at work, and my service is not good at work. And what I wanted to bring this up, and I keep forgetting, Mike and I work for the same company in different sectors. But we're able to have each other on teams. And sometimes Mike and I will message each other how much we want to kill ourselves at work. That's a completely different story. But pretty much every day when I punch in, I will send Mike's a team message saying, hey man, just got to work. I'm going to kill myself.
Today's
just for fun.
the day.
Today's the day.
And then I'm like, hey, you want to hop on this payroll call real quick with me?
Yeah.
No, and then the company HR rep comes down because they've been monitoring your team chat. Just want to make sure you're okay.
What are they going to do?
Yeah. That would be hilarious if they were doing that, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
And
They
so
don't
my
care
text,
about us that much anyways.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
They're like, oh.
Yeah. Good. Fuck them. we could hire someone for less anyway.
Anyway.
And so my text wasn't sending, so I immediately hop on Teams and I'm spamming the thing. I'm like, bro, you need to delete this. You need to unsend it. And Mike's like, I can't. It won't let me unsend. So I'm not having a breakdown, but I am just like laughing at the absurdity of this. And again, Mike can defend himself afterwards, but I'm about to go to an even funnier part of the story that I think we discussed on Friday, but I can't remember.
Can I give my perspective?
Yeah, go ahead.
on that real quick?
Interject. Yeah, interject.
So I see we're driving in the car. Victor is absolutely right. We are in the car. We are headed to Ottawa. And all of a sudden, because I got my phone connected to Apple CarPlay, like I'm driving the car. The only other person in the car is B. And I see a ping or two come up for the group chat. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I ignore it. And then I start seeing ping, 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 right? And at the time, I understand the intention was let me just fucking spam the chat and drive it down, and so she can't see it. Meanwhile, we're in the car and B's like, they're sending a lot of messages. That seems like, do you want me to read like what they're sending? It seems like urgent. And I'm like, don't know. No, I don't want to hear what they're saying right now. And I just played it off as like, they're probably talking about some dumb shit. Like, just leave it alone. Right. Lo and behold, if she opened that up, not only would she be spammed with absolutely ridiculous messages about bullshit that nobody cares about, then it would be like bam, bam, bam. And we wouldn't have even gotten to the place yet. And not only did I see that, I know, Victor, you're about to talk about this in a second, but I see a message from Victor and he's like, oh, by the way, Mike thinks that if she did read that, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. And I was like, not that big of a deal. Bro, what the fuck what am I doing? Right? Like, why do you think I'm in Canada? Right? At that point, it's just like, well, let's go home. Right? Like, I don't need to bring you to the chalet.
No.
That's it. Trip over. Right? Cat's out of the bag. Mike says,
get the fuck out of here.
No. Listen. I need to go back. I will send this to you guys because I took a picture of this to make sure that this man could not wring his way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I took a picture of our team's chat because literally I was like, this is going to be a really funny story if Austin is not mad enough to not record with us on Sunday. And he goes, what do you mean he would be mad? I was like, you don't think spoiling the engagement would make him upset? He was like, nah, she already knows, bro.
That's crazy. I'm telling you right now, Mike, if she found out in that car, not only would you not be invited to the wedding, no, I would not have recorded.
She wasn't gonna find out, guys. What's the big deal? She wasn't gonna know. She was gonna know.
Not only did you put that message in the group chat, you proceeded to send 10 messages after that made her think that she needed to read the chat. So
you handled it like a champ. You were like, nah, they're talking dumb shit. It's done. It's all good,
okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's done now. And again, like we said, it's a very, very funny story. Yeah. But, oh my God.
This is ridiculous. This is like why you only read certain people in at certain times because you know that somehow, some way, they're going to fuck it up. Should have read Mike in.
Well, then I gotta read this,
like a minute before.
Yeah, Mike, how about you read out our team's message.
Yeah.
You read the back and forth.
Yeah, we were going back and forth real fast.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun story on the pod if he decides that he's not too mad to do the study or to do this Sunday. I said, why would he be mad? If you spoiled the surprise, you don't think he'd be mad? Not at all. Okay, well, that's a topic for Sunday. I said, I didn't spoil it. Just don't put it in the universe. Go, I hope, man. But if she saw that, and I said, nah, we're in the clear.
Which, by the way, you most certainly were not in the clear. Nobody knew at that point who had read what or whatever. Mike was just talking out of his fucking ass.
Look, no, listen.
Yeah, go ahead. The floor is yours now, Michael. Go ahead.
Explain.
Look, here's the deal. Yeah, look, I know where I messed up. You know what I'm saying? I know where I probably shouldn't have. So apparently, and I learned this that day, is that when you send something in invisible ink, you can't hold it down to undo send or edit or anything. Because I was like, I realized when I threw it in there, I was like, nah, that's probably not a good idea, And Victor was like, hey, yo, delete that. And I was like, I was beating the phone. I was like, it's not happening. So then that's why I was like, spam the chat because we just got to throw it up there in the heavens. But I mean, it's pinging. It's going on. Was your phone in your pocket while you were driving?
No, Mike. My phone was in the middle console and I was projecting it on Apple CarPlay, driving to the Airbnb.
Was it connected? Because Apple CarPlay, you don't have to connect it anymore. You can leave it in the pocket.
Yeah, but Mike, I needed her to put in directions. She was putting on music.
You could do that from the screen. You could do that from the screen. You don't need the phone for that.
Okay.
Hold
on,
the phone in the pocket.
Hey, stop victim blaming here, by the way. You are absolutely in the wrong.
I'm sorry. I thought I had the floor. This is crazy. I thought I had the
floor.
floor.
You do have the floor, but I'm objecting to your dumb shit right now. All right?
Let's just let him go. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead.
Tell me how I was doing it wrong.
I have nothing to say. All I can say is it didn't get out. We're good. It's all good.
Mike, not only here's the other thing that I didn't have to mention either. not only did you send all of those messages and I had to block them because she almost opened it, I then had to go into my phone and delete all of those text messages. And we're not far from each other. Like we're in a small cabin, right? And so I had to find a way to discreetly delete those and not have her see me delete those so that she thought something else nefarious was going on.
You go take a shit in the bathroom. You delete it all in there. I mean, how hard is it to hide that?
The other thing that I'm not saying either is if there are times where we're driving and you guys do send messages, I usually find it funny to say to her, "Nah, read it out loud. You got to see some of the shit that you're saying."
Okay.
So
See,
that's
now,
already
why don't you bring that up first? You know, why don't you say that, hey, sometimes she casually reads it because it's dumb shit.
Right
Maybe.
now, it's not my job to tell you, "Hey, Mike, she reads it, by the way, so don't say anything stupid." That should be assumed.
No, you know
Right?
me.
There's certain
No,
things
you
that
got to
should be
tell me.
assumed.
You got to
Awareness 55. Awareness 95. All right?
13.
Am I being too generous with that
I
55?
was going to say a 35.
I give myself a 13. Look, I get it. It didn't happen. It all worked out. You had to do a little audible, and it's all good. It's all good. It's a great laugh. Do I love that I did this to you? Absolutely not. I don't. But I feel like you guys make it a little big deal than what it has to be. I feel like you guys make it a little big deal than what it has to be.
Mike,
What?
I'm telling you right now, if she had found out, it would have been the biggest fucking deal in the world.
Come on. Come on.
Mike, your friend points are dropping so hard right now, plummeting. If you had a stock,
Dude, I just gave you 5 big booms for getting
All right,
engaged. That's
listen.
bullshit.
Listen, shoe on the other foot. Are you mad?
yeah, actually, that's a great point.
Shoe on the other foot. Are you upset? If one of us had done that to you?
Well, Austin doesn't text me, so I'm usually pretty in the clear. So I'm not.
What are you talking about?
Oh, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. He's trying to turn it. He's trying to turn it.
So crazy.
No.
Just completely deflecting away from the question.
No.
This is like classic. Like somebody with a psychology degree, please analyze this conversation and talk about all the different defensive techniques that Mike is using here.
Yeah.
We got victim blaming, and what was the other one that we just talked about? Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
You know what?
Analyze.
Oh, man.
I owned up to where I was wrong. I said,
No, you didn't.
I gave him. I did.
Yeah, you owned up to it
I
like
did.
just now.
Yeah, I owned up to it.
Like
I owned up to it when
you.
you called. Did B at least get a good chuckle out of it? Was she like, "Oh, knucklehead Mike up to his no good antics again"?
Yeah, after the fact, for sure,
Okay,
because she
so
found out.
you
She
know what?
found out on the phone when I was FaceTiming you guys to tell you.
And we smoothed it over. I brought my mom on camera. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? We had a good time.
Yeah, Karma makes everything better for sure.
That's why you think I was there. I was like, good. They want to talk to you, not to me. I was like, get in there.
Oh man.
I'll formally apologize to B next time I see her.
Yeah, if you could write like a letter and send it over, that'd be great.
Yeah, send me your address. I'll mail it. That's not a problem.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
You know what? We're gonna look back at it and we're gonna laugh. But I know Austin. Every time, like everywhere he goes now, if he goes to his parents or XYZ, he's gonna tell the story. My friend Mike almost fucking blew it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a focal point.
I am only gonna tell that story to the people that know you,
Because they're gonna know dude. They're gonna know exactly what you're talking about.
No, they're gonna say that's some shit that Mike would do. That's what they're gonna say.
100%. 100%.
I tell you what though, if I go to my family's place and I tell them that story and they're like, "Whoa, why did you said something to her, you kept him from seeing it, it's all good, nobody." I would
Thank you,
bro. I would flip out.
Listen, me and Big Tony C, best friends.
Yeah.
I may, me and Pam may hit some Pilates next week. You know what I'm saying? That's how close we are. What are you gonna do? And her
By the
sister
way-
that lives in Maryland or whatever. It's all good.
By the way, for everybody, I won't give too much detail, but there was a whole thing about planning this proposal that just got very, very convoluted at the end of having to try to keep things secret. And, it got out of hand. I went and I called my parents and I explained to them the latest drama with it all. And my father was like, "Too fucking complicated. Whatever you got going on right now, this could have been so much simpler." And I was like, you know what? You're right. And maybe I
Thanks,
didn't do all
Dad.
this. Appreciate it. I was looking for like a, hey, it's going to be okay. And he was more like, fuck you doing?
Oh,
Big
man.
Tony C's looking out for the best of you. You know what? It all worked out. We can all laugh at it later on in life. What a story.